I'm here with Tim Skinner of the Devonshire Arms. Do you want to tell me your role and about the pub?
Hi, yeah, I'm Tim Skinner. I'm the publican at the Devonshire Arms here in Marylebone. This is a star pub, part of the Heineken family, and I've been here for 5 years.
Okay, cool. So obviously we're here filming a Low and No video. So do you want to tell me about your Low and No offer? I can see immediately in front of me Heineken 0.0 is the big standout sort of piece on the bar.
Yes, yeah. Heineken 0.0 has been a draft offer that we've had here for the last 2 years. We were one of the first sites to trial it. Obviously, it's new technology in order to ensure that the quality is there, and obviously that it's never more than 0.0. It's going fantastically. The increase has been sort of ramping up year on year, and certainly over the last 6 months, I've seen a lot more throughput. Quality's great, and lots of people are choosing no and low options.
Okay, so do you do any more? Are there any more sort of in your Low and No range at all?
Yeah, we've got quite a good range across the board. From the draft offer of Heineken Zero, we've got Heineken Zero and Moretti Zero in bottles.
Okay.
We also have Old Moot Cider, 2 flavours at 0%, and the famous Guinness Zero, which is going great guns if you can get hold of it.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And that's in the back. That's in bottles, cans.
That's in cans.
Yep. Okay.
In the pint cans.
Yeah. All right.
And then we also have a range of gin offers.
Okay. Brilliant.
We do a rum.
Okay.
We do a sort of prosecco alternative as well.
Okay. And how would you say Low and No drinks are going? Is it obviously our research, our surveys, etc., and talk in the industry is that Low and No is obviously on the rise. Would you say that is the case?
Most definitely. I think the figures say it is one of the biggest growth areas.
Sure.
And we're certainly seeing that over the bar. I think that more people are choosing no and low options, and the whole kind of idea that people don't want to come out and order a non-alcoholic drink, or there's any kind of issue with that. That's all.
Yeah, it seems very more years ago that attitude, which is completely changed, I think, throughout.
Yeah, the idea that if you weren't ordering a drink, that somebody would say, "Oh, why are you not drinking?" I think that's very much kind of not something that we see now. People are kind of like, "Okay, that's good."
Yeah.
And certainly for the occasions and the types of guests that we see, we get a lot of after work drinks or during work drinks, work meetings.
Yeah.
And of course, having a drink in a pub, great, but it doesn't have to be alcoholic.
Yeah.
And also the whole kind of zebra drinking is very much a thing.
Have you got any tips at all? Say I will run in a pub or some other operator wanted to improve their Low and No range or what their style of offer is.
I think good question, and the first thing is to consider it.
Yeah.
If you haven't considered it before, really consider it, because it is a vital part of your offer.
Yeah.
That is a big part of your market that if you don't put something on, you're not going to attract. So having something on draft, great starting point, because you're being bold. Yeah. And it's front and centre on the bar. It's a great quality product, and it's something you're not going to get at home or in the supermarket. But try and have something across all categories. So have something in the wine category, something in the spirit kind of aperitif or cocktail category, and having a range of interesting non-alcoholic drinks.
Yeah, no, it's
always a good starting point.
Yeah, okay, all right, brilliant. I'm here with Laura Willoughby of Club Soda, and the Low and No movement is forthgoing and on the rise. And you're chiefly down to you to some extent. So do you want to tell me how that's going?
Well, that's good for you to say, because that means that I've been an effective pain in the arse, really, isn't it? So Club Soda's been going for 11 years. So we predate Low and No on the market, and we started campaigning for more No and No, better choice in pubs and bars when there wasn't any. So really we're an advocacy movement for low, no and mid-strength drinks. Our goal is to make sure that they're available, visible and celebrated in every place that you could possibly want to have a drink. And we work with the brands, we work with venues, we work with retailers, and we also work with consumers, because they're the biggest advocates of this category.
Sure. So obviously Low and No covers the entire spectrum of drinks. So is there any way that you potentially say one is maybe further ahead than others? Is there still work to do, or are they all sort of coming up at the same sort of consistency?
Yeah, there's still always work to do, and you'll know that beer was leading the pack and continues to do so.
Right.
People used to walk into our shop in Covent Garden and say, well, we know the beers are good, but what about wine? And I think wine's where we're seeing the biggest improvements right now. I judged quite a few competitions, and in France last week I judged a competition where we started to give lots of goals to red wines, and that wouldn't have happened a few years ago. And actually, a majority of what we sold in the shop was wine, because people got to try before they buy. So wine is where you should watch this space. And then also functional drinks, so drinks that have got added benefits, that have, I guess, people have some more perceived value as to that drink and drinking it in an evening.
Yeah.
So things that might have ashwagandha, lion's mane, even coffee and caffeine and natural sources of L-theanine and those sorts of things in them, that suggest a health benefit. Because after all, it's health that's pushing the trend in people moderating their drinking and changing their drinking habits. And then do watch out for mid-strength. You'll see that supermarkets have started to bring in a mid-strength section. And actually that's a category where wine is the biggest product in demand.
Right.
People like the idea that they can still have the wine moment, still have the same number of glasses but half the alcohol.
Okay, so are we seeing these drinks that you're talking about? Are we seeing them in the on-trade at all? Are they expanding at all? Are they available in places like you say about lion's mane? Obviously, a mushroom which has health benefits, etc.
I think in the on-trade, functional is beginning to make its way in. Sometimes the functional brand, you don't know that it's functional. The venue doesn't necessarily put it on there.
Right.
And so I get the feeling that in the future we'll start to see some menus that say like feel-good cocktails or feel-good drinks that have got that idea that there's a feeling that you can get from them, or that they've got some health benefits. You'll see that Soho House and other places that particularly have an all-day clientele want to be able to take people from early in the day all the way through to the evening and meet their different needs states. So, you want to wake up a bit more in the morning, you want to be relaxed, sleep, mellow in the evening, and so you're beginning to see menus that reflect that as well. We want our pubs to still thrive. We live in small houses, we're still social beings, and so the idea that we're getting to a point in Britain where people are going, it's lunchtime, but I can still go to the pub because I can still have a pint and a pie, because I can have a pint of Lucky Saint, or I can have, a glass of wine with my meal. And that is really important, because if you look at the fact that, different institutions, different businesses have said no more drinking at lunchtime. I did a big event for the insurance sector a few months ago, and it's no longer acceptable to go and booze at lunchtime.
Right. Okay.
But those pubs in the city still need clients, they still need to come in at lunchtime. So for me, it's all about diversity of choice and equality of experience.
I'm Freddie. I'm head of drinks within Vagabond. So Vagabond is a series of wine bars. Got 12 locations, 11 of which are in London and one's in Birmingham. We're all about experience and kind of exploration, especially in that wine scene. So started out in 2010, and we've kind of been growing organically ever since. And we're now sitting in our brand spanking new bar, which is also doubled up as a winery. And that really helps that exploration piece. And so, we're one of the 4 urban wineries within London. So it's all kind of really quite an inclusive experience for our customers and our guests.
Okay, so you're doing something different here than you are at your other places with the winery as such. So do you want to briefly tell me about that?
Yeah, so with Vagabond, we are kind of known for our kind of Enomati machines, which is the machines you can see behind us here. So you kind of you can try before you buy, and we have normally about 100 wines by the glass, from different unique wine regions, wine styles, varieties, and that DNA runs across the whole of the estate. But yes, here specifically, it is a winery. So we work with growers within 2 hours of London. We get the grapes in during harvest time. We ferment the wine over there, just behind you, and we put them on our machines. And this is the machines you can see behind us. All the Vagabond wines. They're all made in our winery. We like to not only just showcase wines, so basically have wines for those who are just starting out their wine journey, but also those who are probably a bit more comfortable about wines. So we like to be quite inclusive of all of our customers. And that also translates into our range outside of wine, also into beers, spirits, and everything like that. So, people are drinking less, and so when it comes to big events, or even if it's just small groups, small bookings, and people's birthdays and whatnot, we want to make sure we have drinks and an offering that suits everyone. So whether it be wines, beers, spirits, and that also includes now the growing demand for the no and low category as well. So. So as a result, we do have anything from no and low beers, kind of spirits or mimicking spirits, To wines themselves, we have some non-alcoholic wines, but also some that kind of fit outside that. So we've got a really good sparkling tea, which is a really good seller for us.
Okay, so how would you say the momentum is for low and no drinks in general?
I mean, there is definitely forward momentum for
Right.
the no and low category. There is no denying that.
Mm.
We're seeing that. I mean, when I first joined in 2019, the no and low section was just basically Coca-Cola and a bit of a lemonade and ginger ale and things like that, which just wasn't good enough. And also people started coming in demanding a bit more, inquiring a bit more about the no and low side of things. And so yes, we've slowly built on that, slowly but surely. And so yeah, as a result, we've now got that range kind of semi-nailed down, but it's always ever fluid as ranges always are.
Okay. So are you seeing anything in terms of demographics? Is it more like, is it a younger crowd driving a low and no sort of foray, if you like, or is it all round, and is it male, female dominated?
I mean, you definitely get the whole spectrum. You get the whole. Any demographic is also, I think, a bit more conscious in terms of what they drink, whether it be conscious decision about trying to drink less, or whether it be they might not drink for other reasons, whether it be health or religious reasons or anything like that. So, what we're getting is within Vagabond, our main demographic is mainly female, and 25 to 35.
Right. How do you see the future in terms of both for Vagabond and for low and no drinks at Vagabond?
Well, I think no and low category as a whole, I think it's a very exciting category. It's obviously, it's come on leaps and bounds in the last 10, 15, 20 years. You just got to look at, our cousins out in Europe and seeing, you walk down a supermarket aisle down there and just see a wash of blue labels of the no and low kind of colour of beers and stuff. And so, we're catching up with that, and I think we've also overtaken that in some regards in some of the products that are available to us in the UK market.
I'm here with Nate Roberts of the Lucky Saint. Do you want to tell us your role and about the Lucky Saint pub?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, as you said, I'm Nate. I'm the AGM for the Lucky Saint, the Assistant General Manager.
Okay.
So my role is largely quite operational. You'll probably see me behind the bar most Thursday or Friday nights pouring pints. And the Lucky Saint is, it's home to our head office, first of all, but also it's a pub, and our offering is a 50-50 split between alcoholic beverages and non-alcoholic beverages.
Okay. So, do you find that, is it a case of someone who's not drinking alcohol is leading the people here because it leads on such a strong range?
I think it's probably split across the board, but we know ourselves that a lot of people who aren't drinking are the ones who plan the night out.
Right,
because they obviously want to try and plan their night out as well and get the same social experience.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably quite split across the board, to be honest. A lot of what we see is the after-work punters.
Yeah.
And even the after-work punters now are starting to moderate through the week.
Oh, really?
Which is something we weren't seeing, say, 2 or 3 years ago.
Well, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me about the range of your low and no alcohol drinks? I mean, it can include all types, not just beer sort of thing. But
yeah, sure. Well, of course, obviously, we have Lucky Saint on draft, which is one of the biggest crowd pleasers because you can have a pint of beer with your friends.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You'll have one out of the bottle of non-alcoholic beer. And then we have a wide range, so wines, spirits, non-alcohol options in our cocktails. We have a low and no menu, so not just no, we also have quite a low menu as well.
Okay.
Working with people like Tyre and Everleaf, who are great in terms of building cocktails. And having the team work with that kind of stuff is really good.
Okay, cool. So, in Lucky Saint, obviously the draft beer, which we're seeing more and more around the country. What other strands do they have? It's not just a lager, is it anymore?
No. Of course, we've got multiple options now. So you've got the lager, which is our original product, and then we have our hazy IPA. Then we launched our lemon lager, which is super refreshing, really great barbecues in the summer. And most recently, the Weiss beer, which was launched at the back end of last year, which is a really traditional Bavarian Weiss beer. So a really different option in the lineup, actually.
How do you see the future for low and no? Obviously, Lucky Saint doing really well. Is there anything that's selling better than anything else, and the future, as I say?
I think as the demographic broadens and we move further into the no and low categories, the more products are being developed.
Yeah,
So, and I think that what that means is we're opening up categories like cocktails, and we're opening up categories like no alcohol wines, lower wine percentages. I think what that's going to do is allow bartenders, pubs, and restaurants to play with products a lot more.
Yeah.
And the offering's only ever going to expand from this point, I think.
Yeah.
So I think we're probably in a very exciting position over the next
Yeah.
couple of years.
Yeah.
There's lots of products coming to market that we're going to be able to play with.
Brilliant. Okay, excellent. Thanks a lot, mate. I'm here with Cristiano Pellizzari. So lovely to be here.
Lovely
You're
to
the
meet you.
general manager of the Guinea Grill?
Yep.
The famous
Since
Guinea
three-
Grill. if you
Since
will.
3 years, yes.
3 years, is it? Yeah? Okay.
Into this venture.
Okay.
Lovely
So,
pub.
yeah. Do you want to tell me about the pub?
Oh, it's an iconic pub.
Yeah.
It's a pub that is quite unique, I would like to say, in London because what we offer, it is an old-fashioned pub. There is no music, there is no TV, and that has been here for centuries, literally. But then behind the scene, it is a steakhouse with a British menu, tablecloth, silverware, riddle glasses, a very nice wine list, and with sommeliers and so forth, and very good quality of steaks. We make our own pies, we bake our own bread, butter is made in-house,
Wow.
so everything is made in here as much as possible. And yes, we're quite well known for the Guinness as well.
Yeah.
So quite a few, this pub ticks quite a few dots, I would like to say, including a lot of history behind as well. So it's lovely,
Okay.
very nice place. Very
Cool.
nice.
Actually, I've left my Guinness out, Scott, and that's fine. But obviously famed for Guinness, and you've also got Guinness 0.0 on
Yes,
draft.
we do. Yes, we do. Since a year now, almost.
So it's a year you've
Yeah,
had it.
yeah,
How are sales?
It's going well. It's
Yeah.
going well. There is a lot of requests. There is a lot of, especially at the beginning. There was a lot of interest for our clientele, and it sells. It sells every day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's
Brilliant.
probably I was just. I mean, I look at the numbers last night, and I would like to say about 5% of
Okay.
the sales that are about Guinness Zero.
5% of all wet sales.
all wet. No, 5% of the Guinness. Regular Guinness and Guinness
Gotcha.
put together,
Yeah.
about 5% is Guinness. Zero.
Okay, all right.
So it's well known,
Yeah.
and people enjoy it, and they order it.
Well, it's good because there's so few places that serve Guinness 0.0 on draft.
yes,
I think
yes,
there's 4
yes.
maybe.
I think 5 in London.
Oh, okay, 5. Okay.
As per now.
Yeah.
So
So is Guinness 0.0 your only
no,
offer?
we do have Lucky Saint, which sells a lot as
Oh,
well.
okay.
We have Nastro Peroni Zero,
Right.
and then Erdinger as well.
Okay.
They're all zero. The Erdinger being the one that sells the less, I would say. But the Guinness is the Guinness Zero is the one on top.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
So when I don't know, because obviously numbers are small, but it's growing. Obviously, is that
Yes.
the case that it is growing? Or?
I would like to say more than growing. It was growing in January, definitely.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of dry
yeah,
January.
yeah,
Now it's settling a little bit, but it is a non-alcoholic beer that sells the most, and because of the Guinness, because of the trendiness that is around right now in pubs, with the whole quality product that we have, it's a good sales. It's good to have it. It's good to have it.
Of
And
course,
people
yeah.
come here because of that as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be a leading sort of offer, if you like. So, what age group? Is there an age group, or is it
Yes,
like male,
definitely,
female?
definitely.
Yeah.
Male, 100%, I would say. And he's about between 20 and mid-30. That is the range of age, I would like to say, that up for a Guinness Zero.
Okay,
I mean, our clientele varies, but I would just say most of it is between 40 and 60 that come to the Guinea. Those guys, they go for a regular Guinness. The younger generation, they tend to go for a zero, at least.
Right.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
that's
yes.
interesting. Okay. So momentum's good for that, and what do you see for the future? Do you think it's going to improve further?
I think Guinness sales. I would like to believe so.
Yeah.
I would like to believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in general, non-alcoholic drinks and non-alcoholic beer, non-alcoholic spirits, such as gin and more, is going to increase, I believe, because this is what people expect and want. So we will have more range of product and non-alcoholic because the demand is there.
Yeah.